Hello there, and we are back with another battle report again here with the Wind Killer. Today we are playing against the Chaos Warrior, the Chaos Warriors, played by what I believe is a Poland ETC player. In the tournament New Year's Revolution, and this is our second game. We finished our first game, and I think we lost. We lost a little bit. We came out with 43 points or something like that, I believe it was. So our next opponent was this Polish team, pretty strong one, and I was matched up against this Warriors of the Dark Gods with a lot of Feldrakes. My Feldrake list. If we just go through it here, he has the big Feldrake with paired weapons, Chosen Lord with 1+ armor save, paired weapons, and Death Cheater, and a Wizard with Evocation, and 31 Barbarians and 17 Barbarians. So not the best cores, 10 Fallens and 8 Warhounds. So not the best core. Not the strongest kind of core units he has there. But they have paired weapons. And then 2x3 Feldrakes with paired weapons, a Forsaken one, and 5 Flayers with Skinning Lash. So overall, when we did the matrix, we have to pair. We are 5 people on a team, and so we have to do this matrix where we rate each matchup here. And I rated this one here as red. So I estimated I would get between 0 and 5 points, because the idea was that I don't have any tools to deal with his Lord. His Lord can basically do whatever he wants, as long as he doesn't run into my big block of Cayman, my big block of Cayman, or my Tego War guards with Caymans in them. Apart from that, he can basically just wander through every single unit I have on the map here. So that was hard for me to deal with. The Feldrake Ancestral Drake has movement 8, easy. It's not that difficult for him to get me in the flank with him, or at least it should be possible. Good thing he's not flying, but it was a tough thing to deal with. 8 wounds with resilience 6, right? I don't have too good ways to deal with that either. So also a difficult thing to get through. And it was mainly because of those two things that I thought the matchup was strong. Because the rest of the things I was thinking like I could deal with. Yeah, and also because he had paired weapon on almost all of his units. So it rendered sort of my parry. I have 2 Tego guards, 2 Tego warrior units with parry. And as long as you have that many paired weapons with higher weapon skill, with higher offensive skills than me, then he will be hitting me on 3s on a lot of, yeah. Yeah, it was annoying. It was hard to deal with. I thought so. I rated this matchup here to be fairly negative. But anyway, enough talking about the matchup here. I will just go through my list quickly as well here when we jump to the game board here. But we are playing Dawn Assault, I believe it was, with the Spoiler Wars. Which was Spoiler Wars was good for me because he only have 1, 2, 3, 4 scoring units, and I think my scoring units is a little bit more frightening than his scoring units. I mean, the 2 barbarian units are not really good for scoring units, right? Because compared to mine, I mean, I have 30 Tego warriors with 4 Caymans in there, and I have 30 Tego warriors and 2 times Strigosaurs with 3 in there, which is and 5 Cayman elders. So I mean, that's some good, decent scoring units. Yeah. So anyway, let's jump into it here. So just this is the start of turn 1 here. But I will just quickly explain what happened before that. So we rolled for side, and he picked side, and he decided to give me this house here, right in the middle here, and we're playing Dawn Assault, right? So I can I can use this right side of the map, and now there's a big house in here as well here. So that was really annoying for my army to I really had big trouble here placing my army. As you can see here, I placed my Tiger Warriors deep down. They're almost touching the borderline here, because that was the only place I felt they could be. But anyway, I started, he chose side, so I decided to place one unit. I decided to place just one unit, because I thought it didn't really matter who started this game here. And I wanted to match some of my units with his units here. So my plan was that my 2 swarm units here would match his Feldrake. And if I was lucky or nice, I would be able to match his the Forsaken one and one of the units with the one of the units of the Feldrake at the same time. That was that was the ideal scenario. But if I couldn't do that, then just being in front of the Angel Feldrake would have been fine. And so I think I placed my Strigosaurs on the right side flank here, left side flank here. And then he just decided to deploy all. As you can see, he deployed in this way. And immediately when I saw him placing the Angel's Feldrake here, and next to another unit of Feldrakes here, I just replied with double up on my Saurian Warriors here. And then I decided to deploy my big unit of Tiger Warriors to try and sort of contest the objective here versus his units. And on the right side here, I'm not really sure why I did what I did. I didn't really have any space, so I was really just trying to fit these 4 units onto the right side, because I felt like I had enough on the left side just to contest him. So I just wanted to have as many units on the other side as possible, and I sort of just tried and obviously, because the Cayman Elders is the BSB, I wanted to have them in the middle. So it was sort of just like really forced. I didn't have any space, so it was the best way I could place them. And then I put the two units of Chameleon Kings over here as well to dish out some of the markers on. They have marking lures, so I wanted to dish out some, give some presence on the on some of his units here, so my swarms could excel. And I also I get 1/3 marker from the Strigosaurs, and I decided to use it on the Feldrake. And looking back on it, I think maybe I should have put it on either the Forsaken one or the other Feldrakes over here, because as I had the both units over here, I should be able to at least put 2 markers on him on the left side already, just from shooting. So the 3 might become non-needed, right? Anyway, spells. I only have my spells are really fixed. So I have the champion in the Tiger Warriors and Cayman Elders, and both of the Strigo Guards have a champion in there, right? So I have Savage Fury, Awaken the Beast, Healing Water, my Hereditary spell, and that's it. Oh, and Swarm of Insects. And so I also, I put my Swarm of Insects over here to maybe try and shoot some wounds off the big guy here. I mean, he has 8 wounds, it's a long way through it, so I was hoping I could tick off here and there, maybe give him a few wounds before he reaches combat. Yeah, and he picked 1 sniper spell. I think he didn't go with the Touch of the Reaper. I think he just used the other one, Hasten of the Hour. And then he had his Heritage spell and some. He didn't go for Vancava. Oh yeah, so he had Touch of the Reaper, right? Touch of the Reaper and Hasten of the Hour, Ancestral Aid, and my reroll to hit and reroll to wound, and the Hereditary. So good variation of spells he had. Obviously a much strong, and he had the some sort of chaos item that gives him veil tokens for every time a unit dies, and he's one of his units dies or model dies, you get that many veil tokens, which is an insane amount of veil tokens. So, but only in combat. Yeah, not even in combat, just dies from my attacks, right? So, yeah, I thought that was a good item. I haven't seen that before. So, anyway, he gets the first turn. He decides to go first here, and which I'm a little bit surprised about because yeah, if you just talk about Vanguard here, he goes Vanguard here, and I do nothing with my Vanguard because I'm happy where they are. And he also basically doesn't do anything here. So he decided to go first, which really don't understand why he did, because he doesn't advance particularly much, if I recall correctly. Let me just see here. Yeah, so this is kind of like how he advances, and this we have the this unit here is just we were just testing something out, so it's actually down here. So yeah, he advances here, tries to close off the flank on me, right? But I have so many units because I play without characters, right? So I have so many big units, so it's actually pretty hard to do the scissor maneuver on me, right? Because it's very hard to get around my flanks. Because I mean, on my flanks I have 30 Tigger Warriors combined with 3 Strigors. And on the other side I have 12 Swarms combined with 2 chaff unit with my chameleon skinks and 3 and also spearbacks. I mean it's very hard to flank me around, and then on the center I have a very big strong unit combined with some flank charges from Caymans, right? So I mean it's very hard to get around me. But that it seemed at least that was what he was trying to do here. So nothing really happens. He shoots with his I think his hasten of the hour takes off 1 wound from my champion in the Tigger Warriors, and that's about it. And oh yeah, he also do the swirling attacks, swinging attacks with his flares on my chameleon skinks, and he do a few wounds here. So, and that's about it. That's what happens in his turn, right? I stop his hereditary spell from shooting at my spearbacks, I believe, and that's about it. What he did here, his main concern here was the to make sure this unit here couldn't be charged by this unit here. So he chaffed these guys here off so that I couldn't wheel around this guy and get a charge on this guy here. If only if I charged with this unit here, I would be able to hit him, and so that the Striker Warriors would have me in the front. And that was sort of the concerns it seemed he had in this game here, in this first turn here. So let's see what happens next here. Yeah, so this is the start of my turn here. So I decide to try. I decide to actually go for this charge here. I mentioned before here that if my chameleon skinks charge his flares, then my Saurian swarms would be able to wheel into the Ancient's Feldrake here, and I needed a 10 to reach him with my charge here. But I failed charge here, so I end up not doing it. And looking back at it, I think it's a really good idea to do that charge. Despite I'm gonna give up some of my chaff here with my chameleon skinks, right? And if I fail the charge, I'm gonna be in a sort of logistical nightmare on the left side flank here, which I ended up being, because I basically have 3 units that can move around. I mean, this unit here can't go anywhere because there's triggers on the left and there's a fighting combat on the front, and this unit here failed charge, right? So they're sort of forced to just stay down here, and spearbacks as well. It would have been really nice if I haven't charged here, right, and just moved them up here. I could maybe move my spearbacks up to somewhere around here, and then maybe I could have shot him a little bit. But I wanted to try and go for the charge. I mean, it was a 10 plus, And if I do hit him, I have 24 attacks, and I marked him, so I have reroll. So on average, I do 4 6s, and then I have 20 rerolls, which would be another 3 6s. So that's already 7 wounds, potentially boosted, and then I will get another few hits, right? And that's maybe 8 wounds I do, and then I have potential awaken a beast for some extra strength, or maybe I have some healing water, or what do I know, right? I mean, just 8 wounds he saves on force, right? That would be 4 wounds on him from that unit, and I figured that's actually pretty good, and potentially and I would be able to maybe prepare a charge from the Strigosaurs here on the left side flank here. Maybe not, maybe not, but maybe I could have moved them differently if I reached if I had reached with my swamp unit here. I could have chaffed here if I wanted to, so I would have another round to fight this guy here with my swamps, or I could have just let them charge me and just like scoop over this way here because it was my turn, so I could choose to have him reform first, right? And then I could scoop left over, so there would only be a few of these Feldrex that could hit, maybe 1, maybe 2. So well, I think if I had reached him with that charge, it would have been really nice. It would have been really nice to hit him with that charge. Anyway, I failed it, and I sort of reached into a logistical nightmare here, and I just sort of brace for impact instead. But he was also kind of like I really don't want to go into these guys here because that's probably not a good comeback. There's only 260 point down there, and he's gonna take some wounds, and yeah, I don't think he had any interest actually to go down there with this unit here. On the right side, I just sort of prepare. I don't really do anything. I do move up a little bit. I think I move up my Tego Warriors a little bit here. Do I have another picture of my turn? Yeah. So I move up my Tego Warriors a little bit here. And I'm looking back at the game, I'm also wondering, should I play those guys differently? Just move them up max. And then just taking the charge from the Feldrake on the flank. And then taking the charge from the Barbarians. And just fought that fight. And just hoped it went well. I'm ending up, maybe I end up doing it anyway, but I didn't move 8 inches here with my Tech Warriors. Yeah, I only moved a little bit. And another thing I had a little bit wrong here, I think, was the Forsaken. This flank here, I thought actually I had lost. But when I looked at it again now here, I actually think my flank here is stronger than his, and I think maybe I should have been more aggressive here on the flank here. Anyway, what's happening? What happening here? Yeah, so it's his second turn, right? He's turn 2. He decided with the Feldrake he doesn't want to have anything to do with these Swarms units, right? So he charges in the middle here with his Feldrakes here to get off the chap, get rid of the chap. He sends out his Lord to start dealing with the Swarm units, which I think was a good idea. Definitely the correct idea here to send out the Lord to deal with the left side flank, while the Feldrake here setting up for a charge on my Strigosaurs here. And the left side flank here is being swarmed by 2 really strong characters, and I have no way to deal with it. I sort of figured that out, so that was in my next turn I had to do something sort of aggressive. I thought to not be overrun, because he would end up killing this flank here, and if I didn't do anything on the other flank here, I think I would be in a lot of trouble. Anyway, he rolls like sort of average with the Forsaken one, which put him into a sort of position where my Strigosaur has a good chance on him, but my Cayman Warriors, Elder Caymans can't wield into him, so the charge with my Cayman Elders is not possible. Which, if it was possible, I would definitely charge with my Cayman Elders, But since it's not possible, I think I'm gonna charge with the Striker Warriors and accept that. But anyway, he's turn here, right? This is how it looks after the movement phase, the magic phase. Nothing really happens if I recall correctly. He shoots a little bit here again on the my salamanders, and he do get. I think actually he do get his heretic spell off on them, but he managed to only do 1 or 2 wounds. He was fairly unlucky with that. I think he rolled very low on the hits, and obviously his flares takes out my skink gorillas that charged, and now he's sort of chaffing 3 units with 1 unit here. What a beauty! What a beauty, right? Hvad siger du mere? Sorry about that. Yeah, so that was his turn 2, right? And my turn 3 here, as you can see here, this is the start of my turn 2. Declaring charges here, and if you see here, yeah. So let's just see what happens here. My start at the end of the movement phase here, obviously my takeover warriors, they charges the guy that chaffed me up here. My Strigosaurus charges his Forsaken one. I can only reel around, so I can only get 2 in. And then I have to activate my Relentless Banner to chaff off the Feldrakes here from joining the battle here with the Forsaken one. I think he actually forgot I had the Relentless Banner here, which allowed me to chaff the Feldrakes here. Because what I think what his plan was to send down, to send forward the Forsaken one to tank up the charge from my Strigosaurus, and then follow it up by the charge from the Feldrakes, right? I moved down the Salamanders to stop this flying raid show here with the flares. And on the left side, what do I do on the left side? This is more interesting. Yeah, so I figured this flank here is not going good. He chaffed up my Strigosaurus, so there was no way for them to run away from this big Feldrake. So I came up with a solution that I would just do a flee. So I put the Saurian swarms behind him. So I would make the and then if he and then obviously he's gonna charge me. And then when he charged me, I would just flee, and then I would be on the other side here. And then the Feldrake would have to probably fortify the charge, because you probably don't want to be stuck in these Saurian swarms here. Or he would try and redirect into the other swarms down here, which I think he needed like a 10 to reach. So that was sort of I thought that was a good way to get out of a pretty tricky situation. Anyway, he ends up charging with the oh, no, that's for his turn 3 right now. Just my turn. Yeah, so that was the idea about my turn 2, right? And I chaff up the Feldrakes here. I make a little mistake here, but I think I did it. No, I didn't. It wasn't really a mistake, but my this unit of Saurian Swarms, they failed leadership on march check, so they couldn't go further to the right here, which left a charge open for his Lord. And not only that, I would only be able to hit him 5 times. Not that it probably matter, even if I have 27 attacks, I probably won't do a whole lot of wounds on him. But anyway, he was capable of charging me here, which was a shame. I would have loved to only be able to chaff off the. Looking back on it, maybe actually I could have angled them differently, have them look this way here instead, so that he couldn't get into the front of the unit. And so I was forced to charge on the Feldrake. Yeah, that was probably a mistake looking back. I think I should have done that. I didn't think of that. Anyway, I put him like that, and I open up a charge from his Chaos Lord here. I put the spearbacks here and back here to start and try and shoot him a little bit, hoping I could do something to him. 8 wounds is a lot. But yeah, this is how it ended of my second movement phase. Magic, I do get like nothing. Do I get any magic off? I don't think I get any magic off, honestly. Nope, no magic, right? So, yeah, no magic. Oh, it was a 1, so. And I saved 3 Veil tokens, so it wasn't a big magic phase either. So anyway, he's turn 3 here, right? I managed to shoot off all 5 players with my salamanders on the right side flank down here. And in the combat here with the Strigosaurus, I dealt 3 wounds and he dealt 1 wound, which was pretty nice. These guys are they're Fallens, I should mention, and these are barbarians, yeah, Fallen. So he's down here, as you can see here on the left side flank here. He do decide to charge the Strigosaurus here, which I declare flee with. Run, and then he redirect into the Saurian Swarms here, which he need a 10 to reach. And he also charges with the Chaos Lord here. And he charges on the right side flank, he charges with the Fell Drags on my Saurian Warriors here. And that's his charges, right? And sadly he reaches me with his Fell Drag. He does take 2 wounds from a dangerous terrain on the way there, but I can only get 10 attack on, and I have to 5 attack have to hit the Lord, and 5 attack has to hit the Fell Drags. So this is a decent situation. He caught himself in a good fighting situation with my swarms here, right? But it was sort of because I failed the March test here. And also, looking back at it, maybe I could have placed them differently to also make... If I put them here, right? Really, if I just put the unit here, then I could maybe, and I would have put this guy here on the flank, then I could probably have made this charge here impossible, and I would have made this charge here impossible. That would have maybe been probably the best idea. It's probably a really big mistake. Yeah. Okay, lesson learned. That was a big mistake. Anyway, that's what happened. So what's my current thoughts on this one here? Right side flank here. I'm feeling okay. I think my 30 Tega Warrior should be fine into his Fell Drags. We should kill each other fairly well. I mean, he hits on 3s, wounding on 3s, and then I'm 6s. And I hitting on 3s and 5s, and then he 5s. But he's only 12 wound. I'm 35 wounds, I think. So like 1 to 2, and he probably trades 2 wounds for 1 wound. So overall, I think it should end in a draw or something around there. But obviously, I'm gonna keep all my attack at all times, and as soon as I've done more than 4 wounds, he loses 4 attacks, right? So and 1 stomp. So in the long run, I think I should be able to grind this one out here. He decided to charge with his Fallen here as well to help out his Forsaken one here against my my Striga Warriors, and also probably to get the 1 bonus from the charge static resolution, combat resolution from charge, and also 4 attacks with turn 4, right? I mean, like he could potentially do something. But yeah, that's his movement phase, and what happens here in the magic phase. I think he get like reroll off or reroll to hit, or is it wound on the Feldrax over here? Yeah. Oh, and he get reroll to wound on the Feldrax over here, and he gets the reroll to wound on his Forsaken one. That's nasty. Oh, that's nasty. So the combat goes something like here. He kills a lot of swarms, right? Obviously. Oh yeah, he also moves his Feldrax over here to start preparing to take the objective, right? But back to combat here, he kills a lot of swarm units here, which is not very nice. Here, I think I managed to actually do another 2 wounds on him, and I also managed to kill some Fallens with my stomps. And I think he does. I think I do 5 wounds, and he do 5 wounds as well. Yeah. Yeah, so he does 3 wounds or something like that. It ends up in a draw in any case. We get a draw here, and he reforms and I reform. Um, so I can charge with my Take Warriors. And I'm feeling pretty good about the center at the moment right here. I feel like this is one of the places I'm winning. I have the Stagger Warriors coming in here, and the Forsaken one only has 1 wound left, and maybe I can advance here after that. And then I can use my Cayman Elders to maybe zone off these guys a little bit, and hopefully rally some of these guys here to take some more time from him here. But I am losing on this side really big, right? And on the right side flank here, I also think I'm this, depending on how the reroll goes and all that, still very open who's gonna win the right side flank, right? But obviously I'm pretty nervous about this left side flank because his big units are grinding through my chaff over here. And when he's done with that, he's probably gonna be looking at this juicy target afterwards. And if he gets through right there, then I lose the game right straight up. Anyways, what happens here? So combat. I think I have a picture after combat. Yeah, as you can see, we reformed here. He rolled pretty badly in this combat here. Here, I think he managed to kill like 5 guys or something, which is probably not. A little bit below average, maybe 7 is average. Let's see, he has what, 12 attacks? That's 9 hits, and then he rerolled 3. Oh, yeah, he rerolled 3, so that's 10 hits, right? 11 hits, and then he wounding on 3s. So that would be like 8 or something wounds, and I will save 1.3. And I think I managed to save 2 instead. And then he would do 2. So he should do like 7 or 8 wounds, right? And I had 16 attacks, hitting on 3s. So that's like, how much is that? 10 and a little bit more than 10.3. And then I'm wounding on 5s. So that'll be 3 wounds or something like that. 3 wounds plus a little bit. And then he saves on 5, so I'll do like on average 2 wounds, right? And then I have 2 ranks and a banner. So I am gonna lose, but only by a little bit. And I think I managed, as you can see, I managed to do 1 wound here, and I lose this. So this is the start of my turn. This is the start of my turn 3 magic phase, right? So, actually, at the end of this is the end of the combat phase. This is a quick turn, I guess, because I take pictures. I have it on automation. I take pictures every 10 minutes. And I think this turn here is almost over, right? So if we just take a look what happened. I killed the second one. I don't know why it's still here, but I killed the second one. I killed the Fallens here. And I get Savage Fury off on my Tego Warriors over here. And I mean, that's pretty good. Now I have Battle Fury and I'm immune to fear. Because I failed the fear check on the first combat, so that was pretty bad. But now I'm immune to fear and I have Battle Focus. So that should be good. On the left side flank here, I'm not really sure what I'm doing here. It was pretty annoying. We were circling around this ruin here because my spearbacks, they couldn't really do anything. Couldn't really do anything good because they were hitting on 5 and 6s. It was just a pretty annoying situation for them. Anyway, obviously I think the next picture should show something that he managed to kill the. Yeah, no, I was sad because he finished the Saurian Swarms in my turn. So he can reform on his turn 4, right, and get whatever charge he like. And he chose to turn the Feldrake around to finish the flank off completely, and the Lord. and then to take the spoiler wars. So right now he has 2 spoiler wars banners against my one, and he flees with his barbarian here he's starting to close off the game here, right? He killed about 2,000 points of me at the moment here, and I've taken about 800 points from him. So if he can get away with this banner over here, then he has a solid victory right here. I think he has like a 15-5 victory or something like that. So that's not very good. So I think that's why he decided to go to the left side flank here, and basically just try and run and preserve as many points as possible, while killing off the last thing on the left side flank. While I'm putting my money on the right side flank and hoping my Tega Warriors can do well against the Feldrakes here. So if we just jump straight to combat here, right? My turn so turn 4. This is his turn 4. The combat here. He gets the charges on my spear bags, and he kills me on the left side flank. And here I think I managed to do a good amount of wounds, maybe 4 wounds or something like that, which was pretty nice. I think he takes he takes less wounds, and he stays on a leadership 7 or something like that. And I got pretty lucky. He got his heretic spell in on my my salamanders here, but he rolls a double 1, and I only do 1 wound to my salamanders, which was pretty forgiven. So now I have a chance to potentially burn this unit here with double salamander. But I think maybe he does something actually. No, yeah, I do get a chance to burn him with double salamanders here on my turn 4. So this is my turn 4 after magic phase, right? So I move up the salamanders here to start burning on the barbarian unit here with his mates in here. I move these guys up here, and I think I reform them. Yeah, I'm not really sure why I have them look this way here, but anyway, probably to prepare a charge here, right? No, I charged, right? So I charged the barbarian here, right? And obviously declares a flee and runs on the other side of the Feldrakes here. And that's it. I failed charge, and now I'm just standing here. And he only has 2 turns left here, right? And he has his Feldrake all the way down here, so he needs 1 movement phase, 2 movement phase to even get near me, right? So you're only gonna get 1 turn if he with my. So this flank here is probably not gonna do all that much more from the next 2 turns, right? So on the right flank here, I get up my heretic spells, and I actually end up casting it on myself because I was nervous that what if I lost the combat and I would have to do a flee check, and I would die, and I would fail the flee check, and I would run. He would get the objective. I would lose the Tega Warriors, which would be 500 points, which would put him in with a lead with about 2,000 points plus the objective, which would give him a big victory. So I was kind of thinking that the grind war here would eventually pay off for me. So I cast it on myself, which would help me. Oh yeah, because I also moved my Cayman Elders outside of range here, so no BSB on these guys here, and no leadership 8, so the leadership 7 against fear and etc. It was a mess, so I decided to boost their leadership here. So now they're leadership 9 cold-blooded, which is decent, right? And I gave them -1 to hit, so, and I still have loot stone, so I hit on 4s. So that wasn't all too bad. And then my shooting phase here, I tried to burn him here, and I thought this was a big chance for me to do great things in the game, right? If I have killed he started with 17 barbarians plus his wizard, which leave in a total of 20 wounds. So if I had done 6 wounds, I would have caused a panic check on 8+, right? Huh? I would have an 8+ leadership test, right? And if he'd failed that one, I would have been able to burn him again next turn here. So I thought that was a really good. That was a big chance for me. Yeah, but what happens here? So my turn 4 after combat. Yeah. So my turn 4 after combat, turn 4 here. I managed to get him running here. I pick up the flag, and he, as he's already decimated here, so he only rally on a 5. I decide not to follow him. And then here I decided to reform so forth that I could take the most distance from this guy here to my place here. So he needs a 12 to get in here. And then look at his mage here, and that was it. Now the game is sort of over. So he's turn 5 here. He kills the whole left side flank, right? And I killed the right side flank. And now he's just trying to scrambling. There's not really much going on here. And as you can see here, he flees with his mage. And he's 17 warriors. Don't really know what happens to them. But I guess maybe my salamander burns them and they run by a failed leadership check or something like that. And anyway, they die maybe. And this is sort of the end of the game, right? So at the end of the game, he still has this mage here. Or he does. There's something. So he managed to, with his mates, managed to shoot the last salamander off. Kill the last salamander here. He managed to kill one salamander, so there's only one left. I think he may even managed to kill both of them, right? He managed to kill both of them. So he managed to kill the salamanders. Which makes me unable to shoot this wizard he decided to run out with on the big field here. And I mean, if I had a chance to flame him, then maybe I could have killed him. He only has resilience 4, 3 wounds, no armor save, or maybe 6 plus armor save, something. So maybe I could have killed him if I had my salamanders, which would have given me 600 points. But I didn't. He managed to kill them off. So the end result is something like, what was it? I think it was the it's a 10-10. So the end result is 10-10. I killed 1500 points. He killed 2400 points, and I take the objective, right? And I mean, if I killed the wizard, then I would have taken 2000 points, 2100 points, and then I would have been a 13. It would have been 10-10 or 9-11 by score, and then I would have taken the objective and won by 3 points or something like that. It was an up and down game. I mean, I was lucky at some points. I think my Tega Warriors, when they fought his 3 Fell Drakes, I rolled above average. I failed the 10 roll on charging his Fell Drake here, which was kind of sad, because I think that could have been very big for my game. Because if you take a look at it again, right? I mean, if I had reached them here, right, I would have been here, and I could probably scoot over so that this unit here would have been in the front, and the Lord can see me, right? So this would have been a nice fight to play. And another thing also happened on the left side flank here that didn't go in my favor. Was the I decided to flee with my Striker Warriors here, right, and they didn't rally again, so they ran off the board, right. I forgot to mention that, but they ran off the board and I died, which was a shame, right. So and then again, I think I was about to say he rolled a below average on his Forsaken one. But actually he rolled 2 6s, so he had 10 strength 6 attack with reroll in 2 rounds. So he killed all my Striker Warriors, Strigasos, which was also not that nice. He also rolled a 1 on the first one, but he failed. I think he only saved 1 or 2 out of 6 wounds on the Forsaken one. 2 is on average, right? So I mean, it's not terribly bad, but a little bit below average. And the fight over here was also a little bit below average, and my magic was a little bit below average. Obviously, I don't have much of it anyway, but So overall, I think the dices was like in a fair place, and they were good somewhere, and they were bad another way. Um, and I got a 10-10 out of this game here, as I mentioned before. I rated this matchup here as a big red matchup here, and I think watching the match, the battle report here clearly shows why. There was a lot of flanks where I didn't really have. There was a lot of places on this map here where I didn't really have a chance to advance. There was a lot of places where I'm not really stronger than he is. And once again, I failed to use my salamanders in any sort of offensive way. I only get one, maybe I get two breath attacks off with them. And I must say that they're obviously a big threat, and your opponent spent all his dice, his magic dice, to try and kill him. But they consequently lack a lot of offensive. I don't get enough value out of them. It's 250 points, right? And I mean, if I deleted both of my and I rarely use them as chaff, right? Maybe I should consider using more as chaff, but I rarely use them as chaff. I usually put them behind my units and try and shoot with them, and they sort of disappoint me again and again. So I have to find a new way to play them, or simply just take them out, replace them for something else. Maybe an Anorak would be fine, or yeah, I haven't thought about what they could be replaced with, but I think they might need replacement, because there's already a decent amount of chaff in this army list here, right? There's 2 times swarm units here, and 2 times gorilla skinks. So I mean that's 4 units of chaff. Not the best chaff, but they can surely be used as chaff. And in return of that, maybe by giving up, maybe remove 2 Cayman Elders. Because they also rarely get to fight. I rarely get to fight with my Cayman Elders as well. So I think I might also want to remove 2 Cayman Elders and just use them as BSB and Mage. And then maybe put in an Rock, put him in my Tegel Warriors, or put him on the portable thing, and have him run around and do some magic, because magic, the list here really miss magic. It has some pretty crappy magic, and as in this I was against evocation, right? He shoots off my champion by turn 2, and I lose a spell, and my Striga warriors here, they die because they're on the flank, right? So they rarely ever cast spells anyway. So at the end of the day, I only really have the heretic spell and the regeneration and healing water on these guys, and it's not really good. Only 1 channel, it's not that good. But anyway, I will cut the battle report here. Thank you for watching, and hopefully I will be ready with another battle report when the 3rd game will be played in the New Year resolution tournament. And I believe maybe in the next week I'm also going to be having the Cribble Ribble, the 2nd game in the Cribble Ribble tournament here, and I won the 1st game here, so I'm actually 3rd right now. If everything sticks, then I will be in the 3rd place, and I think my next opponent, if things doesn't change too much, will be Dwarven Hordes, which I think, and I'm playing the same list as this one here, so I think it's actually a pretty good matchup, because he didn't bring any cannons. But we'll see. Anyway, stay tuned, and hopefully watch my next battle report. Bye bye.